Hello, hello. Back at it again. Alright. Biggest thing. Worked a full day. Pretty much 9 hours. Doesn't matter. We're still going to get into the gym. We're still going to get into doing it. And we're still going to push. So, it's all that fucking matters. I'd have that thought process more often than not. I don't care if it's the most difficult day or the easiest day we worked. It's a day that happened. It's the day that we did, and that's the day we got to do. Because if we don't work out, we atrophy, we don't get big, makes me sad. Goals. I swear to God. But thought process is we're at it. We're listening. We're getting bigger. Because we're eating food. That's the biggest thing. Because if you're trying to lose weight or gain weight, it all depends on like your health markers, how you have to worry about that shit. Because that's something I worry about. Because if I let's say I get overweight, my health markers will drop because I now have a respiratory disease. It is classified as a respiratory disease, meaning it's hard for me to breathe. And when you can't breathe, you can't output the same energy or the same strength all the time. But that's a whole different matter because fuck it, we live. But wherever you stand right now, you gotta realize that the hardest part is getting in the gym. Everything else can come after. As soon as you get that routine in, you don't gotta worry about anything else. Because food can come after, you can start working on like your diet because you see less progress. Or you're not seeing a ton of progress. I'm not a big advocate on lowering your calories to the part as far as possible and killing yourself and not doing a ton of activity. The reason is because if you don't do a ton of activity and you're just losing weight through not eating, you're not actually getting the benefits of losing the weight. You're getting some of the benefits, not a ton. Your energy goes up, yes, because you're less heavy, so you have to move less mass, less weight. But on the other hand, your heart health only increases by like 20%. So let's say you want your heart health to be the maximum reason you are losing this weight is because you're afraid of something like that, or you know there's a lot of strain on your body to push that blood and keep you alive because you're so fucking heavy. This is on anybody who's heavier than naturally, like mobility wise. Because I even say that people like bodybuilders who have to use sleep apnea machines because they're so fucking big, I don't consider that very healthy. Crazy. Even though I have a fuck ton of muscle, I don't think that's very healthy of them. But there's a difference between being obese in fat and being obese in muscle. You can move when you have a fuck ton of muscle. You can move weight, you can do a lot of shit. You're not out of breath as much because of it. You are struggling, but you are not dying fully. Same reason with fat. You're struggling, but you're not really dying. It's just taking time. But you do have to worry about that. And that's why the gym is so important. That's why activity levels are so important. Because all of this shit is very important for longevity. And the reason I say this starts first is because this is the hardest thing to do. Because you can change your diet. I'm not lying. You could just say, hey man, I need to cook more at home. Let me start buying shit to cook at home. Let me start meal prepping. Let me do this. It only takes an hour out of your Sunday, if that, or your Saturday to meal prep for the whole week. Maybe takes an hour. And you can meal prep all your foods. Like, I meal prep all 4 of my meals within an hour. And that's 4 meals for 5 days. Because I meal prep for all the days I'm working. Because it's just easier. Then I don't have to worry about what the fuck I'm eating. And I'm not usually going out to go grab food because I don't have anything. And then like Saturday, Sunday, I'm usually buying something on a Saturday or something like that. So I'll just grab quick something easy to eat, quick, done. But I also have the time to cook myself food, make food and all that shit, and I'm just gonna eat what I made. But I have that time, I have that luxury, because I'm not working. I don't have that luxury when I'm working. So the luxury that I don't get, I use some of that time that I already have a fuck ton of on a Saturday or Sunday to make the food. It's simple to me. But I know some people it's not very simple for, because the reason it's not so simple for most people is because not everyone can eat the same thing over and over every week, every day for fucking a long time. Not everyone can do that. But this is why cookbooks exist. This is why low-calorie cookbooks exist. Like, you don't have to splurge and get stuff. Just look shit on the internet and you'll find it, and you can switch it in and out. Or you could do what one of like my favorite like influencers does. He doesn't meal prep. He ingredient preps. So he'll buy a bag of chicken, cook that chicken for 5 days, make a few cups of rice, use that, veggies, all that, and then like different sauces and shit. And then he'll buy a different like lean meat, pork or something like that, or 95 4-gram beef or something like that, and it's different every time. So one day he can have beef, rice, and chicken for his like first meal, or like whatever he wants, or like it's just chicken and veg like I eat. It's all I fucking eat for my like 4th meal. The reason I do that, because I like veggies. I also don't want rice, so I don't do potato shit. Just I forget. But that's the main reason I do it. Because I enjoy it. You have to find stuff you enjoy. That's why I keep telling people it doesn't have to be the gym, you work out. Working out can be anything instead of like always shit. Like, I'm not saying go to the gym. I'm saying do whatever the fuck you want. Be active. Be excited. If your kid wants to go play, you go be active with them. Be very active. Be content. Be uncontent to the point where you want to move. You want to move and get the best body you can have. Because if you don't, if you're always content with where you're at, there's no reason for change. Having that a little bit of uncontentment of just being like needing something to happen, it'll happen because that's how it works. Because every time you think about it, every person who's done great things with their body, mind, and technology, they are not content with how the world works. They're not content with their physique. They're not content with how their phone works, how this shit works. They have an idea. So they make sure that idea works. They do it. They keep doing it over and over and over until people start calling them crazy. And then they do it again. until it works. That's called practice. The whole thing of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different outcome. There will be a different outcome because you're not a robot. You're not doing the same thing over and over. Every little change is seen. Training the same fucking way every time, all the time. But you're slowly getting stronger. A lot of people would consider that insanity because you're doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different change. There's a change. My muscles got stronger, so I'm moving more weight. It just took forever until I could not find a way to improve. And then I continued at it, and then I found improvement. Because every little thing I see is improvement. That's also why I usually do posing. Because I'm not saying I'm changing from week to week, but there is little differences in my physique from month to month, from day to day. Maybe how I ate, maybe how much salt consumption I had. Little changes every day. But when technically I'm an insane person because I'm doing the same shit over and over, and I'm expecting different results. That would make me an insane person to most people. You have to make sure you're a little insane. Because having that aspect of insanity is what makes change, is what makes you better. Think about it. When I started filming this shit, I thought I was insane. But I just kept doing the same thing over and over. I just kept posting, expecting change. And then I did. I saw change over time. Like hell, I didn't think I was going to get a single fucking subscriber or a single view on any of my videos. Because for months, there was nothing. For months. Absolutely fuck all. Because nothing was changing. I couldn't find a reason to keep doing this except for the love of the game. For the fuck it, for wants and shits and giggles, because I wanted to do it. That is the reason I kept doing it. Because over time I found out, fuck it, we're just going to keep going. Because if we don't, nothing's going to change. You have to try and make the leap before people start calling you insane. That singular step is the best way to get better. Because any other time, you can't do it. Right now, you should have done it a while ago, but the second best time is now. It's the second best time to do it. But don't take every word that I say and don't hang on it like I'm some messiah, because I'm not. I'm some random motherfucker who's just saying his mind. Because it's not gonna change anything, because I cannot make you do the workout. I can convince you. I can't make you work out. I can't. The saying that like makes everything makes me think a lot is you can bring a horse water, but you can't make it drink. Meaning the horse has to be thirsty to want the water. It has to want the water. Meaning, you have to want change. You have to want the ability to make your life better. Because if you don't, not willing to do the simple shit. Just step into a gym. You don't have to fucking do a monthly membership. No. If you're going to go only one day a week, it is cheaper to buy a day pass. It's a bit cheaper. Just to start off, if you were going every other week, it is pretty damn not terrible to buy a day pass. But as you get more consistent, you want a gym membership because you're going almost every day. Or every other day. Or 4 times a week. 5 times a week. 6 times a week. 7 times a week. Doesn't matter. You start doing it. You start going. You don't stop. The whole train 2 times a week. It doesn't matter if you're a newbie. It only matters when you start getting to the point where it works. Because it doesn't stop. Progress never stops, it never halts. The reason it never halts, never stops, never completely gets stagnant is because your muscles are always growing or shrinking. They are never being stagnant. They are always in flux. But hey, I'm just some guy on the internet. Take everything I say with a grain of salt.